The name of this class, it was Prayers of Protection, but let's open up with Psalms chapter 17, verse 1. Let's get it popping. Psalms chapter 17, verse 1.
The book of Psalms, chapter 17 and verse 1. Hear the right, O Lord, attend unto my cry. Give ear unto my prayer that goeth not out of feigned lips.
So this is one of the Psalms of David. You know, he's saying, hear the right, attend unto my cry. You know what his cry was? His prayer. The prayer that we send up is us crying unto the Lord. All right?
Let my sentence come forth from thy presence. Let thine eyes behold the things that are equal.
Read.
Thou hast proved mine heart. Thou hast visited me in the night.
So when he says, thou hast proved mine heart, it's letting you know that the Most High has proved him. Just like the Most High is going to have to prove us. We're going to have to go through different trials, things like that, so the Most High can prove us to let us know to see if we worthy. Read.
Thou hast tried me and shalt find nothing. I am purposed that my mouth shall not transgress.
Go to Psalms chapter 26, verse 1. All right, so we're going to be doing a lot of jumping, all right? So Lord's will, y'all follow along. You know, y'all just catch the drift of this class, all right?
The book of Psalms, chapter 26 and verse 1. Judge me, O Lord, for I have walked in mine integrity. I have trusted also in the Lord. Therefore I shall not slide. Examine me, O Lord, and prove me. Try my reins and my heart.
So he says, I have walked in my integrity. I have trusted also in the Lord. Therefore I shall not slide. So we trust in the Most High, we ain't going to slide. So you might ask yourself, where are you going to slide from, right? If you slip and fall, guess what? Fire on the left side, water on the right. However it go, right? You got a narrow path, so it ain't no time for slipping, right? You have to make sure you stand straight on the course. Read that again for me.
Verse 1. Judge me, O Lord, for I have walked in mine integrity. I have trusted also in the Lord. Therefore I shall not slide. Examine me, O Lord, and prove me. Try my reins and my heart.
That's what we should want. We should want the Most High God to try our reins and try our heart. That's the only way we're going to grow. That's the only way we're going to be able to learn, right? Because all the mistakes that we have done in the past, it's a reason why. So you can learn from it, right? So you can be a better person. No, not to do that, what you had did in the past, what you just did today or yesterday or a week ago, right? Those are the things that you have to overcome. Go to back to Psalms chapter 17, verse 5.
The book of Psalms, chapter 17 and verse 5. Hold up my goings in thy paths, that my footsteps slip not.
So it says, hold up my goings in thy paths. So wherever I'm going, he asking the Most High God to hold him up. Make sure I don't slip and fall, right? Because our flesh, we can easily slip and fall, but guess what? The Most High will be there to hold us up. Read it.
I have called upon thee, for thou wilt hear me, O God.
Read that again.
I have called upon thee, for thou wilt hear me, O God.
My bad. Read verse 5 again.
Psalms chapter 17 and verse 5. Hold up my goings in thy paths, that my footsteps slip not.
So that's what we don't want. We don't want to slip at all. Now, all in this truth. Of course, there's going to be times where we fall, but guess what? Was it 7 times we fall, whatever? A just man falls 7 times, but guess what? You're going to get back up, Lord's willing, right? That's what we got to do. Go to Psalms chapter 18, verse 36. Hold to Psalm 17. We're going to keep going back and forth.
The book of Psalms, chapter 18 and verse 36. Thou hast enlarged my steps under me.
So the Most High God, he enlarged your steps under you, right? And so he's enlarging the path for you so you can have that balance, right? So you can, walk on that straight, narrow path, but he's helping it. He's making it a little easier for you, right? Read it again.
Thou hast enlarged my steps under me. That my feet did not slip.
That my feet did not slip. 2nd Ezra 7 and 7. Thou hast enlarged my steps under me, that my feet did not slip. So only time when this happens, when we put our trust in him, and he proves us. All right, so read that. 2nd Ezra 7:7.
The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 7 and verse 7. The entrance thereof is narrow.
The entrance is talking about the kingdom of heaven. The entrance thereof is narrow. The entrance to the kingdom of heaven is narrow. Read.
And is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water.
So if it's a narrow path and it's fire on the right and water on the left, you die by either one of those two. So it ain't no time for you to be slipping, falling. You got to be asking the Most High to enlarge your steps. Read. Read that last part again. Like as if there were.
Like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water.
All right, go back to Psalms chapter 18, verse 36.
The book of Psalms, chapter 18 and verse 36. Thou hast enlarged my steps under me, that my feet did not slip.
That my feet did not slip. Go back to Psalms chapter 17, verse 6. So Lord's will, y'all following, understanding that this is a prayer that we should all want. This is something that we should sometimes guide our prayers after this manner, right? Asking the Most High God to prove us. Make sure that our steps are straight and that we won't slip and fall. Read.
The book of Psalms, chapter 17 and verse 6. I have called upon thee, for thou wilt hear me, O God. Incline thine ear unto me, and hear my speech.
Mm-hmm.
Show thy marvelous loving kindness, O thou that savest by the right hand, them which put their trust in thee, from those that rise up against them.
So when we put our trust in Most High God, he's going to protect us against those people that rise up against us. For far too long, we had all these other nations has been going against us. But now our solution is cleaving unto the Most High, trusting in him. Because he's the only one that's going to what? Hold you up. Make sure you straight. Protect you from the evil that's to come. Psalms chapter 57, verse 1. Psalms chapter 57, verse 1.
The book of Psalms, chapter 57 and verse 1. Be merciful unto me, O God. Be merciful unto me. For my soul trusteth in thee. Yea, in the shadow of thy wings will I make my refuge.
So it says, be merciful unto me, O God. Be merciful unto me, for my soul trusteth in thee. Then it has a colon, which goes into more, where it says, yeah, in the shadow of thy wings will I make refuge. So in the shadow of the Most High God's wings, we that's where we can get refuge. So ask yourself, does God have wings? It's talking about something else, and we're going to get into it. Read.
Until these calamities be overpassed.
So, in the shadow of thy wings I will make refuge until these calamities be overpassed. So, in the shadow of God's wings for protection, it's going to prevent the calamities that fall upon you. Read.
Verse 2. I will cry unto God, my Most High, unto God that performeth all things for me. He shall send from heaven and save me from the reproach of him that would swallow me up. Selah. God shall send forth his mercy and his truth.
So that's what we want. We want God to save us from the so-called white man. Right? We want him to save us from Moab. All these other nations that have a perpetual hatred towards us. We want to be delivered to the kingdom of Most High God. It is what it is. That's what we want, right? Go to Psalms chapter 17, verse 8. It says, in that Psalms 57:3 says, God shall send forth his mercy and his truth. All right, read Psalms chapter 17, verse 8.
The book of Psalms, chapter 17 and verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
Keep me as the apple of the eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wings.
So it says, keep me as the apple of thy eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wings. So we want to be the main focus that God, we want to be the main focus in God's eyes. It is what it is, right? We are the greatest nation of people, but we not acting like it. We're not acting like it. We're not acting like we the apple of his eye. We supposed to act like royalty, right? But it says, keep me as the apple of thy eye, hide me under the shadow of thy wings. Go to Deuteronomy 32 and 9 real quick. Deuteronomy 32 and 9. So what we had just read is actually in Deuteronomy 32 as well.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 9. For the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. He found him in a desert land and in the waste howling wilderness. He led him about. He instructed him. He kept him as the apple of his eye.
So you have the Most High God on your side. The one true protector, the God of this earth, the one that created all things, the real true God. As the apple, and you the apple of his eye? Read.
As an eagle stirreth up her nest, fluttereth over her young, spreadeth abroad her wings, taketh them, beareth them on her wings. So the Lord alone.
Hold on. Read that part. As an eagle, what?
Verse 11. As an eagle stirreth up her nest, fluttereth over her young, spreadeth abroad her wings, taketh them, beareth them on her wings.
So you gotta understand the way that a mother bird, if they have younglings in a nest, they're gonna protect those little young chicks, whatever you want to call them, the young birds, right, with their wings. So if a storm come or any kind of another bird that's trying to kill the little young ones, that's what the mother does. They protect the young ones with the wings. So it's just the same thing with the Most High God. The Most High God is just spreading his wings around us to protect us from the calamities. Esau, all these other nations, that's what the Most High God is doing. And the only way to do that, you have to trust in the Most High God. You have to trust in the shadow of his wings. That's your refuge. Read that again.
Verse 11. As an eagle stirreth up her nest, fluttereth over her young, spreadeth abroad her wings, taketh them, beareth them on her wings. So the Lord alone did lead him, and there was no strange God with him.
Go to Psalms chapter 91, verse 4. So we're going to get the true understanding of what those wings are. We're going to get what those wings are and what it means, all right? Read.
The book of Psalms, chapter 91 and verse 4. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust.
So it says, he shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings thou shalt trust. And then it has a colon. Read.
His truth shall be thy shield and buckler.
So it says, his truth shall be thy shield and buckler. So, the truth shall be thy shield and buckler. So understand that the wings is a shield and buckler, right? It's protecting you from different things, right? But it says right here, his truth shall be thy shield and buckler. What's the truth? Let's get that. Psalms chapter 119, verse 142. You good.
The book of Psalms, chapter 119 and verse 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth.
So thy law is the truth. So go back to Psalms chapter 91, verse 4.
Psalms chapter 91 and verse 4.
So thy law is the truth. Read.
He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler.
His law shall be thy shield and buckler. So guess what? If we shout it in the Most High God's wings, it's the law. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing right now. For you to be sitting amongst us, repenting every day, right? You hide it in the Most High God's shadow. And guess what, right? What he's doing right now? Protecting you. He has his wings around you, which is the law of the Most High God. So you got to understand that us just keeping God's laws, it gives you protection. It is what it is. God's laws just give you protection. It's just around you. It is you, right? Because we're trying to make ourselves to following God's laws, so that's going to be a part of you. You have protection. Go back to Psalms chapter. Go to Psalms chapter 17, verse 9. Excuse me. Start at 8 again.
Psalms chapter 17 and verse 8. Keep me as the apple of the eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wings.
Which is the law. Remember, read.
From the wicked that oppress me, from my deadly enemies who compass me about.
So we have deadly enemies, people that's trying to kill us. But guess what's protecting you? the Most High God's laws. So you got to understand that if you have trust in keeping the Most High God's laws, nothing will happen to you at all. Nothing's going to happen to you. You in the land of your captivity, and all we got to do is just keep God's commandments, and that's your protection. It's plain and simple. Remember, the Most High God said his laws are not grievous. But guess what we do? We try to make excuses, go back and forth, like, I don't want to do this. We BS, be lazy, do stupid stuff, right? But we have to repent from that. Go to Psalm chapter 57, verse 6.
The book of Psalms, chapter 57 and verse 6. They have prepared a net for my steps.
This is talking about your enemies. They have what?
Prepared a net for my steps. My soul is bowed down.
So it says they have prepared a net for my steps. So remember earlier when we was talking about how the Most High God helps you with, he makes your path bigger, right? He ain't gonna let you slip. But then it says they have prepared a net for my steps. So they send traps amongst you. But guess what the Most High is doing? He pushing all that BS to the side. Guess why? Because you keeping God's commandments. Read.
They have digged a pit before me, into the midst whereof they are fallen themselves.
You see that? You see that? They dig a pit for you, but guess what? They fall into it themselves. They fall into it themselves. Everything they try to do against you, they've been trying to kill us for years. But guess what? They still can't do it. They still can't do it. Right? Go back to Psalms chapter 17, verse 10.
The book of Psalms, chapter 17 and verse 10. They are enclosed in their own fat. With their mouth they speak proudly. Mm-hmm. They have now compassed us in our steps.
There you go. Compassed us again. Read.
They have set their eyes, bowing down to the earth.
Uh-huh.
Like as a lion that is greedy of his prey, and as it were a young lion lurking in secret places.
Read.
Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword.
So that's what we want. We want the Most High God to disappoint them. That's what we doing. We doing it ourselves when we go out to teach the Most High God's truth, right? When we waking our people, trying to bring forth the kingdom. That's what we doing. Read that last part again, verse 13.
Deliver my soul from the wicked.
No, verse 13.
Chapter 17 and verse 13.
Yeah.
Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword.
Go to Habakkuk chapter 1, verse 12. So understand that these other nations are the Most High God's sword. You got to understand that the reason why we're going through it is because it's our own fault. It is what it is, because guess why? We didn't like those wings that was around us. We didn't want to trust in that. We didn't want to trust in just protection around us. We had that protection ourselves. You got to ask yourself, we had all these signs, one person slaying hundreds of people, right? In war. All these different miracles and different things that the Most High God has done for us, fighting for us. But we didn't want that. We didn't trust in that. All right? Read that.
Habakkuk chapter 1 and verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
Art thou not from everlasting, O Lord my God, mine Holy One? We shall not die. O Lord, thou hast ordained them for judgment. Almighty God, thou hast established them for correction.
So guess what? Guess why you're going through the things you're going through? It's for your correction. Why you getting whooped, right? Why you getting a beating upside your back? Why? It's for your correction. We all getting it. It is what it is. Guess why? Because we're not trusting in God's wings, the laws. We're not trusting in that. To this day, us in here right now, you got people in here that's coming Sabbath by Sabbath not trusting in the Most High God's wings. But guess what we got to do? We have to acknowledge and understand that we got to repent and come back to our protection. Our protection, God's wings, the laws. Right? Go to, you had something? Go to Psalms chapter 91, verse 7. Psalms chapter 91, verse 7. Start at Start at 2.
The book of Psalms.
Wait, start at 1.
Psalms chapter 91 and verse 1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty.
So we're going to abide in the shadow of the Almighty. Earlier we read a verse where it says, dwell in the shadow of the Most High God's wings. So this right here is saying, dwell in the secret place of the Most High, shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. The secret place is God's laws. Read.
Verse 2. I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in him will I trust.
Right.
Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence.
Says, surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler. So you got to know that if you dwell in this of the Most High God's laws, you going to be delivered from your enemies. Read.
He shall cover thee with his feathers.
He shall cover thee with what?
With his feathers.
With what?
With his feathers.
You already know what that is. The laws. Read.
And under his wings shalt thou trust.
Under his wings shalt thou trust.
His truth shall be thy shield and buckler.
There you go again. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Read that. Read.
Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night.
We ain't going to be afraid by the terror by night. Read.
Nor for the arrow that flieth by day.
So, hey, we ain't, when Christ come back, we ain't going to be scared. Guess why? Because we under Most High God's wings. Read.
Nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness.
Ooh-wee. Read.
Nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday.
Go to Revelations chapter 16, verse 10. Nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness. Man.
The book of Revelation, chapter 16 and verse 10. And the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast, and his kingdom was full of darkness, and they gnawed their tongues for pain.
So go back. It says his kingdom was full of darkness. His kingdom was full of darkness. His kingdom was full of darkness. That's what this nation is, America, a Babylon. It's full of darkness. There's no light in it. There's nothing good about Babylon. The only light in it is really us, the Most High God's laws. Right? Read.
The book of Psalms, chapter 91 and verse 6. Nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday.
Right.
1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at the right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee.
So when that nuclear fire comes, thousands of people going to be dying around you. But it says it's not going to come near thee. You know what protection you got? The shadow of God's wings, his laws. Read.
Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked, because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling.
All praises. Go to Psalm chapter 63, verse 1. So Lord's willing, y'all follow along and understand that our comfort, our protection is God's laws. You know, everything that we read throughout this Bible is referencing God's laws. It is what it is. Read.
Psalms chapter 63 and verse 1.
Read down all the way to 2. Read.
O God, thou art my God. Early will I seek thee. My soul thirsteth for thee. My flesh longeth for thee in a dry and thirsty land where no water is.
Oh God, thou art my God. Early will I seek thee. My soul thirsteth for thee. Your soul has to be thirsting for God's laws. You have to be thirsting for it. Every time we wake up in the morning, a lot of times we get a little liquid in our system, right? Throat a little dry, tongue a little dry, cotton mouth, whatever, things like that. But guess what? Once you drink a little something, you feel rejuvenated, right? Same thing as your soul. We got to make sure that we get our 4 chapters in, right? Read verse 1 again.
Psalms chapter 63 and verse 1. O God, thou art my God. Early will I seek thee. My soul thirsteth for thee. My flesh longeth for thee in a dry and thirsty land where no water is.
My flesh longeth for thee in a dry and thirsty land. Remember, this is the land of darkness, right? But it says, my flesh longeth for thee in a dry and thirsty land, where no water is. What's the water? Ephesians 5:26. Go there for me real quick. We're gonna come right back to this. Ephesians 5:26, where no water is. My flesh longeth for thee in a dry and thirsty land. So there's nothing good in this dry land that we in right now. There's nothing the good can come out of it. Remember what King Solomon was saying, everything is vanity. Everything is all lies. And if you apply that, if you just easily, just in the simplest terms, apply that to our daily life, you know, all the sins that we're dealing with, and just every little distraction, right? You just think about it and just know that this is vanity. It's lies. Like, what's the point? It's stupid. It does nothing for my soul. If you understand that, you know, we can prevent certain things that happen to us, different sins like that, right? Different lusts that we have. Read Ephesians 5:26.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 5 and verse 26. That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word.
Washing of water by the word. So understand that this word is the water. So go back to Psalm 63 and 1.
Psalm chapter 63 and verse 1. O God, thou art my God. Early will I seek thee. My soul thirsteth for thee. My flesh longeth for thee in a dry and thirsty land where no water is.
Read.
To see thy power and thy glory, so as I have seen thee in the sanctuary.
So that's what we're going to see when Christ comes back. We're going to see that glory. We're going to see it. Jump to Psalms chapter 17, verse 15.
Psalms chapter 17 and verse 15. As for me, I will behold thy face in righteousness. I shall be satisfied when I awake.
As for me, I will behold thy face in righteousness. Read.
I shall be satisfied when I awake with thy likeness.
So understand that I will behold thy face in righteousness is what? Deuteronomy 6 and 25, right? What's righteousness?
Right.
The law, right? And it says, I shall be satisfied when I wake and with thy likeness. So when you wake up, you're going to be satisfied because why? You're getting that water in, right? You're getting the laws in, right? So go to Psalm chapter 63, verse 5. We're almost done. Psalms chapter 63, verse 5.
The book of Psalms, chapter 63 and verse 5. My soul shall be satisfied as with marrow and fatness.
My soul shall be satisfied as with marrow and fatness. Read.
And my mouth shall praise thee with joyful lips.
So we understand that when we have God's laws, it's going to be marrow and fatness to our bones. It's going to be joyous to us. You know, that zeal that we have in the beginning when we come into the truth. Right? Every time we hear like a cold breakdown from a bishop or a deacon or a captain, anybody, right? We feel joyous. We feel rejuvenated. Our spirit feels rejuvenated. You can't get that out of this world, America. You can't get that out of here. You have to get it out of this Bible to feel rejuvenated. That's what's going to fill your spirit up. Go to, keep reading.
Verse 6. When I remember thee upon my bed and meditate on thee in the night watches.
Now remember thee upon my bed and meditate on thee night watches. So at night, we thinking about the laws. We thinking about the Most High God. We thinking about what he has done for us. Read.
Verse 7. Because thou hast been my help. Therefore, in the shadow of thy wings will I rejoice.
There it goes again. Therefore, in the shadow of thy wings will I rejoice. God's laws. That's what we should rejoice in because we have protection. Read.
My soul followeth hard after thee. Thy right hand upholdeth me.
It says, my soul followeth hard after thee. Your soul has to follow hard after the Most High God. After the Most High God. That's what we should be striving for. And we all know you should know yourself that if you not your soul is not striving hard after the Most High God. You should know that yourself if it's not or not, right? Read.
Verse 9. But those that seek my soul to destroy it shall go into the lower parts of the earth.
You remember where it said the scripture where it's like they dig a pit for ourselves, right? But they end up following it, right? Read that again.
But those that seek my soul to destroy it shall go into the lower parts of the earth.
Whatever they plan for us, they're going right back in it. It's like the Revelation 13 and 10. He that leave in captivity should go in captivity, right? He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword, right? Here's the patience and faith of the saints, right? It's the same thing right here. Read.
They shall fall by the sword.
Oh, there we go. Read.
They shall be a portion for foxes.
Read.
But the king shall rejoice in God. Everyone that sweareth by him shall glory. But the mouth of them that speak lies shall be stopped.
So guess what? All the lies they've been saying, we crushing that. It's being stopped right now.
Right.
And we still stopping it. It is what it is, right? Zechariah chapter 2, verse 8. Zechariah chapter 2, verse 8.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 2 and verse 8. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. For he that toucheth you, toucheth the apple of his eye.
So if anybody touch you, they touching the apple of God's eye. Read.
Verse 9. For behold, I will shake mine hand upon them, and they shall be a spoil to their servants. And ye shall know that the Lord of hosts hath sent me.
Read.
Sing and rejoice, O daughter of Zion. For lo, I come, and I will dwell in the midst of thee, saith the Lord.
All praises. Malachi chapter 4, verse 1. We got to dwell in the Most High God's protection. A lot of times, you want to say that we want to talk to God, or we want to see God. A lot of people want to see God, just, different things, right? BS that you hear every day, right, from Christians or anybody, right? But your protection right here, hey, it's this Bible. It's God's laws. You being close to God just by following God's laws. Malachi chapter 4, verse 1.
The book of Malachi, chapter 4 and verse 1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch.
So guess what? It ain't going to be no remains of those people if we ain't keeping God's laws, if we not dwelling in his protection. Read.
Verse 2. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings.
So when Christ come back, it says arise with healing in his wings. So Christ's going to have healing when he come back. Christ is going to heal us when he come back. And guess what his wings are? The law, the truth. Read.
And shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall.
Read.
And he shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet. And the day that I shall do this, saith the Lord of hosts.
Go to Psalm chapter 36, verse 7.
The book of Psalms, chapter 36 and verse 7. How excellent is thy loving kindness, O God. Therefore, the children of men put their trust under the shadow of thy wings.
Says, therefore, the children of men put their trust under the shadow of thy wings. Man, that's what we got to do. We got to put our trust in the shadow of God's wings. Go to Psalms chapter 55, verse 6, last scripture. Psalms chapter 55, verse 6.
The book of Psalms, chapter 55 and verse 6. And I said, oh, that I had wings like a dove, for then would I flee away and be at rest.
So we had wings like a dove, then will I fly away and be at rest. We had wings, right? If we had God's laws and we just fly away, we could be at rest. You got God's laws, you being at rest. If you have God's laws, you are being at rest. Right? And that's something for you to think about and meditate on. So guess what? You getting rest while on the Sabbath, right? It's every 7 day out the week. You getting rest from the destruction, the curses. That's what you getting rest from. All these calamities and all the curses. You getting rest from that when you follow God's laws. Those are your wings, all right?
We used to scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.